She can't just give us the bill. So, I thought normally that's the audience. So. If she decides like next month, if she. Yeah, one.
We'll work on that another time. But I see people in the room. I don't know who they are because it's too, far away. And you should have me. I had tested. Yeah, you can see me and all my. I'll mute myself. I'll mute myself, right? Okay, mute. Excuse me. Oh, to tell staff.
Dr. B, you there?
Yes, I am.
How's it looking? We're gonna have a meeting?
I don't know. What time's now? It's now. We're supposed to start. It's, Maria is here, it's 4 of us are here. We short staffed.
There's 3
So,
of us.
no, Maria is here.
She is on.
Yeah, so we have 4 here. We should be able to start. We may not be able to vote on
Can,
major items, but we could keep a meeting anyway.
Is Mary, is the director part of the board though?
No, I'm not a voting member.
I didn't say the director. I said Maria Colish is here.
Yes,
Right, so we have you,
We have 4.
Lorraine and
Yeah.
McCall and Colish, right?
Yeah, we have 4 of us here.
Who are the 4?
Deborah, Miss Dorota, Miss Colish, and myself.
Oh, I didn't see Deborah. I see Michelle now, though. Okay.
what is Michelle?
Oh, Michelle.
Is online.
Oh, she might.
Is Danny?
Coming.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, how is
Mich-
everyone?
Michelle, is Danny coming?
He's coming, yes.
How are you feeling?
Doing good, doing good. How's everybody there? Good?
Were you sick?
Listen, you're looking as beautiful as ever.
Oh, thank you. How is everyone?
Oh, we can't complain.
Knock wood.
Yeah.
We had a whole bunch of people at our synagogue come down with COVID.
Oh, boy, I
And-
know it's going around again.
And I had a mediation with an attorney. The adversary had got COVID. I'm
Oh.
like, that's why I'm sitting here.
Right, right. And so nasty out tonight, too.
You look
know?
great.
Thank
You've been
you.
good, huh?
Yep.
Oh, good, good,
How are you
good.
doing? Good?
Knock wood.
Good, good.
Michelle,
Thank you.
Councilwoman, I want to introduce you,
This
an
is so-
assistant mayor. So I do not know if you ever met her. It's our new library director, Miss
Oh.
Mary Romance. She's right there.
Very nice meeting you.
Yeah,
it's
this is,
been a pleasure and I look forward to working with you more. So it's Michelle. And how do you pronounce your last name?
Yamakitis?
Hey, just like it's spelled, right?
Right, right.
Simple. It's simple.
Yeah.
Silly me. And then and Maria, I know is remoting in. So
Right.
I am happy to meet you remotely, Maria.
but
And-
I am glad she's showing up because today is back to school night at the high school and she's a librarian at the high school. She is still joining us because she's wearing 2 hats tonight. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And I see Daniel Yamakaitis. Any relation?
Yep, my son.
Yeah, I'm her son.
Nice
Yeah.
to meet you. I'm Mary Romance.
We have 5 so we could start a meeting tonight.
Okay, let's go.
You ready?
Is Maria on?
Maria and Daniel.
Yes.
So we have 5.
Maria is here.
Come on, everybody. Oh, you don't have a gavel today? You have a gavel for me?
And I need the.
Sorry, it's in the office. Just pound your fist.
Okay,
Can we?
meeting come to order. Let's salute to the flag, but we were waiting for the agendas. Here. All right, thank you. Will you
Sure.
just pass them here for me, please?
Oh, sure, I thought you had them. I'm sorry.
No, we didn't.
We requested.
Yeah, I thought you had them. That's why I'm saying it's. Thank you.
I got it.
All right. Okay, I'll leave this one up here. Okay. Okay. I swear allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now we're gonna call, it is now October the 3rd at 6:40 PM. And we have 6:37 PM. And we are about to call the Linden Free Public Library Board Meeting order. You're gonna have the secretary, Deborah Savito,
So,
roll call.
okay, I start with the mayor and stand. Michelle Yamakartis,
Here.
Dr. Molina,
Here.
Rhoda. Here. Danny Yamakartis.
Here.
Deborah Sevilla, me. Susan Stash.
She's done.
Yes, the same.
She has resigned in August.
Okay, Maria Kolish, Maria,
Maria Kulish.
I think Maria's muted, right?
She may be muted, yes.
She hasn't unmuted herself. Yes.
Yana Burt,
Not here.
and Jill Lazari.
It's Lazar, and I'm here.
Now I'm going to read a statement of adequate notice in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as follows. On September 30th, notice was sent to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, Union County Local Source Ad, and the clerk of the municipality. This is a no smoking building, and no smoking is permitted at any time. In addition to the listed item in this agenda, this board may discuss at any time any other items that refer to herein as followed at a regularly scheduled board meeting under the Sunshine Law. Now, we're gonna go to motion to approve the minutes. I do not know if you guys, because we are short-staffed right now, our minutes is not in writing, but because all our meetings have been recorded, last month we did not have a meeting because we didn't have a quorum. So there's no minutes to be recorded for the last meeting. Our meeting before, which was in June month,
No, May.
we did May month, we didn't, that's the last meeting we had. Was in
I
May.
thought it was April. I thought it was April. So
May.
motion to approve minutes for April meeting. Do we mean May meeting on the agenda? Does it need to be corrected?
We had May meeting.
Was the last one.
Was
because
the last
June
meeting we
was
had was May.
canceled.
Then the entry number 5 on the agenda needs to be revised.
Yeah.
We need a motion to revise that entry to be the motion to approve the minutes for the May meeting, not the April.
Right, yes. In fact, we would have to approve both April and May meetings.
Okay, may we get a motion for that perhaps? To revise the agenda as such?
Did somebody make a motion?
I make a motion to change the agenda for the May, to approve minutes for the May meeting.
April and May.
And who is that? I'm sorry, who's speaking?
Dorota,
Dorothy, I thought it was you. Okay, thanks.
Is there a second?
Deborah? I
Yeah,
can't accept
okay,
that.
okay.
Deborah
second.
second.
Does that pass, our chairman,
Roll
our
call,
president?
roll call?
Okay, good.
Dr. Molina,
Yes.
Rhoda,
Yes.
Danny. Danny,
Yes, yes.
Deborah, yes. Maria? She's muted. Okay. That's it.
All right, so we had five
Michelle,
members.
Michelle, can,
No,
I'm the liaison. That's,
she's
I didn't
not a
ask you a
member.
question. I asked a
Okay.
question,
I'm talking to myself. I'm not
Okay.
talking to you and I'm not asking questions.
asking question to her.
No, please, not right now. This is only when we have the public, yes. All right, now we have, do you have any correspondence to report for the library? Who is in charge today? Is it you, Jeff?
I'm sorry,
I'm-
President, did we actually vote to approve the minutes? Because I think that we just voted to approve the revision of the agenda to approve the minutes for April and May. So now we need a motion to approve the minutes.
That is correct.
Okay,
Motion.
I make the motion to approve the minutes.
Thanks,
Second.
Dorothy.
Are there any opposed is what I would ask, President.
Is anybody opposed to the minutes, to approving the minutes?
Danny,
Then passes. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, so we should vote to pass it now, or it's just passed?
We just passed it. Very good.
Is the waiting Maria?
I beg your
I think we're going on to correspondence.
No, just now,
Okay.
yes, what did you say?
Can we get Maria on?
Where's
Hi,
she?
everyone.
He's
She
there,
got,
so
that's
the
why I
mute.
was saying, she was, hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
It's back to school night, so doing double duty here.
Yes.
Well,
So,
thank you for doing part of ours too.
Ms. Romance, do we have any correspondence?
No, no correspondence from the library, no, to present.
All right. And committee reports? The treasurer report, do you have any? Madam Treasurer?
I only would like to ask to approve the payments for the past month. But I'm gonna change. It's gonna be in the amount of $44,123.59 because I'm not approving two payments for Alpha Dog and Petty Cash. I would like to, I'm gonna have to talk to
Want
Laura.
sticky notes? Sure, okay, here.
If you need more, I can also.
No, it's not for us.
Oh, I will talk to Lorraine about that, and if it's good, we will approve next month. So I would like to ask to do I vote?
Well, we're
Approve the-
gonna approve the treasurer's report, but we want to remove two items on the treasurer's report.
Then you have to do a motion to do that.
Yes, so we're gonna make a motion to
Okay.
approve the
Okay, I would
treasurer
like to make a
report.
motion to approve payments.
No. We need a motion first to revise the payments from what you had posted. What had been
Yes.
posted.
Okay, make a motion to approve
To revise.
revised payments.
Who's gonna second it? I can't second. it.
Deborah.
Deborah.
I approve.
You second, it.
Yeah, a second.
Deborah second.
yes.
Are any opposed?
Any oppose it?
I didn't hear what any of them were, so I have to abstain from that, I guess.
No, what it is that the treasurer just agreed. We want to approve the treasurer's report, but we have removed two items from the treasurer report. So we wanted to approve the changes in the removal of these two items from the treasurer report.
And the two items were the petty cash and what was the other?
Alpha Dog payment.
I'm not sure what it is, but the Alpha Dog payments, Maria. Do you have
Well,
any opposition to approving that change to the report?
So does that mean that petty cash is not getting paid and Alpha Dog is not getting paid? I think Alpha Dog
Yes.
is the webmaster.
Yes, it's just two items that we are questioning the.
I guess,
pay-
Maria, I guess we need a discussion. We need to know why those
Why?
two are being taken out.
Right.
Well, one of the items, if I may say, for Alpha Dog is no more our website company.
Oh,
And,
who is now? Who is
Um,
now?
Kellyak is.
Okay.
Yeah, we express concern that for a company that is no longer our website company, we just paid for upgrades. And we want to know why.
What's the deal with the petty cash?
Yes. Yes, you talk about that.
The petty cash, I found the receipt for the, I'm questioning, the receipt from Bella Gina's Italian Deli.
So in other words, you have some questions that you're
$77.
following. So Dorota, is the issue that that you want to follow up on one of the
Yes.
entries before having that approved?
Yes.
Correct, yes.
Okay, Maria, do you have any further questions on that?
I guess not. No.
Okay, so are there anybody opposed, President? You want to ask anybody's opposed to revising the report?
Isn't petty cash just stuff that's petty? So what? Is buying stuff from Bellagina's, isn't that something petty? Why are we questioning why they're buying stuff from Bellagina's?
Well, it's for the purpose. We are concerned about the purpose. There's certain stuff that may have been purchased in the library that should be used from Friends of the Library funds, but it's used with library funds to purchase some snacks. So we just want a better explanation as to why library funds was used and not Friends of the Library funds.
Okay, I'm just, you're just putting a lot of stuff under a microscope that we also, what's going on with this audit that I haven't heard anything about an audit that you guys were pushing for, so.
Well,
I think we had the audit, Daniel.
Yeah,
we
we
had
have,
the
The
data.
audit, if I may, the audit for calendar year 2021, Lorraine is in the process of preparing everything for the auditor to come on in, the regular auditor to come on in. So that is in process, I can say that. And from what I heard Dorothy say, in terms of the checks being presented, the two items that she wants to, has advised that they be set aside until she has a chance to talk with the Lorraine, and I'll be involved in that process. Those two are set aside, but she's presenting the rest of the checks.
I'm here, by the way.
For payment. Yeah, hi, Lorraine.
Hi.
So those are the two things in terms of the audit, the question about the audit and the question about the checks being presented for payment.
No, I understand. I know we do a regular audit every year, but we hired a
Forensic audit.
group, yeah, a forensic auditor. What happened with that report? I haven't seen any report about that.
Yes, I have the same question.
I think that's good, but why don't we first focus on what the treasury
Yeah,
report is at
okay.
the moment? I think it's a great point. We do have that report, I know. So let's focus here and then move on. And then we need to address that. I think you're absolutely right, Danny. Any other questions on the treasurer's report with omitting those two pieces?
so seeing that there's no other questions in the treasurer's report, I would like a vote to approve the treasurer's report,
We
eliminating.
need a motion. We need a motion.
We need a
to-
motion.
I need I make a motion to approve the payments.
Dorothy, okay.
Is there a second?
Yeah.
Deborah.
Anybody? President, does anybody oppose the approval?
Does anybody oppose the approval? All right, so
That
it's passed
passes.
then.
Okay.
Yes.
President, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't see on the agenda anything to discuss that audit that was conducted. And I know that we had the report. How are we going? I'm sorry to interrupt, really sorry, but it is a valid question.
I agree, yes. So what I would propose is that in our next meeting, we would bring up the forensic audit and have a discussion on our findings.
And the
What-
recommendations of the auditor.
Yes,
So
that's-
what I was thinking was perhaps we could release the report to the board members so they'll be prepared to discuss it next time.
I will make sure that every board member get a copy of the report.
Is that good with you, Danny? Maria, is everybody happy with that?
Yeah, I was just curious what happened with it. That's all.
It actually was a great report. It really, I just want to say, I read it, but you have to read it and make your own assessment. Okay, so shall we continue then?
Yes, that is correct, yes. So now our next item on the agenda is building and grounds. Again, I think that this is one of the recommendations that I make is that we really need to discuss splitting the offices on the third floor into 3 sections. One for administrative staff, another for book storage, because we still do not have any proper place in the library to store for storage purposes. And we also need, seeing that we are a growing library, I still think we may possibly need a technology department. I put it to the floor. Any discussion?
My question would be, what does the director feel about that?
That is a fine question that you asked, Daniel. And I think this is something, now that it has been brought forth as an agenda item, that perhaps I can gain further knowledge outside of this meeting from our board president, and then prepare information that she may require or the board may require, so that we have some facts in front of us regarding these 3 items. How does that sound? Because I don't know at this point, I will say.
What I would say though, is that when I go into the back room there's a lot of empty beds that are out there. There's space that is not being properly utilized. If you go into the back office there, Madam Director, would you agree with that? There's a lot of empty desks that are just sitting there.
I think it's absolutely a worthwhile thing to look into, Dr. B, and to look to see how the space is being utilized and whether or not, and I agree, it's worth looking at, because I bet you there
Thank
is
you.
a
Good night.
better utilization of space. So I will look into that and write something up, make my recommendation. Perhaps this is something that Madam President might want to refer to Buildings and Grounds Committee to hash out the details. Meanwhile, I'll do my part and look into it and prepare, what I see, what I understand to be as facts and what I might recommend. And then this would be a great thing for the Buildings and Grounds Committee, sorry about that, to hash it out and bring a recommendation to the full board on these 3 items: the administration area, the book storage, and Dr. B, regarding technology, could you help me understand a little more clearly what you were talking about regarding that?
Well, it's like, if we look, even in our board meeting, we don't have anything, any area or any discussion on technology. I think that the library is heading more and more into that direction, in a technology setting, where a lot more stuff would be done online. And as a forward thinker, I think we should be prepared for,
Okay. Yes.
for the future when it comes to technology and the library.
So can I ask a question here? I'm sorry. So in the sense of technology department, essentially all you need is a computer and someone to be, if it's online, you don't need space for that unless you are adding more servers. So what is your vision for a technology department? Maybe that can help clarify. And my second question I have is, didn't we have an architect in to look at the space who had initially designed it? I thought at some point we had, with the previous interim director, there was the architect firm came in and they said that some changes could be made.
Yes,
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we just talked about it, but
right. No, you're right. Somebody did come in. I never got a report.
okay.
And regarding technology, I did, I called around to several libraries in the area and I asked them, is there a need for a technology department in the library? And they said most of them do have a technology department, and they use it for a lot of different activities, but we don't have anything like that here.
Just want to clarify, are you saying technology space, like a lot of libraries have computers set up? Are you considering that as a technology department? Are you considering someone who handles technology issues when they come up, and how to maintain, make sure that the systems are all operating properly, the cataloging and the databases? Is that what you're thinking? Or is it just that when people come in, they have a bank of computers to use? And is that being viewed as the technology department?
No, I think that's a customer service department. And
No, that wouldn't be customer service. That's
service, I mean, where the clients come and use the computers to do
Right.
their work. It's part of the services we offer. But there is, as I said, when I spoke to a lot of the other libraries, they do have a technology department, and the technology department is used for a lot of different services that may be needed in the library. Miss Romance,
Yes.
as a
Right.
director, I would like to throw this question for you. You have been out there working in a lot of libraries. Isn't it the case that several libraries do have technology departments that work in the background to help move some of the programs forward?
Well, and one thing I've been thinking, Dr. Berghammer, was as a standalone library, which is what Linden is, we take advantage of some of the services that the New Jersey State Library offers. That's where we get our connections for our catalog and our email.
Databases. Yep.
Yeah, the databases, all that stuff. So I would like to put forward that maybe the first thing we need to do is just kind of, I can gather some facts of where we stand with various aspects of technology, and something that would give us a focus to move forward with the discussion about what we might see for the future. Because at this point, I think it sounds like it's a wide open question. So if I may start by not talking about what we need to do in the beginning, but talk about where we are and how we're currently configured, just something to start the discussion. What do you think about that?
I totally agree.
Miss Romance, and so are we, and maybe some of the other board members may not be familiar with how like consortiums work. So maybe that is also something that could be presented, because that falls under technology, and so all those services come under that. So I just want a clarification of what technology department means, because it may look differently for someone who's not familiar with how the functions of, modern libraries operate.
You bring up a great point, and so I'll make sure that I include just the fundamental kind of, this is a consortium, we are not part of a consortium, this is a potential option, and try to kind of distill a whole bunch of stuff into something pretty straightforward. And when I say simplified, I mean kind of fundamental information that gives us the starting point to talk about, if that sounds good to you. And I don't know, is this under buildings and grounds in terms of the committee that might want to hash this out? Because I'm looking, I don't have the list of committees with me, and forgive me, because there's a lot to learn. Which committee would be the one who would kind of hash this out after, providing basic details and then bring a recommendation to the board?
Well, because we are down 4 board members, I think we have to regroup.
Okay.
And also, I know that the mayor is in the process of hiring new board members. So hopefully by the next board meeting, we should have a full board, hopefully. But some of the people that are on these committees are no longer with the board. So.
But meanwhile, I will do what I had said and just start gathering some basic facts about where we are, and some fundamental ideas of where we might consider we want to go, because I always believe that unless we know the facts of where we are, it's really hard to talk about where we want to move to. So with your approval, that's what I'll do.
Okay. Anyone have any comments to make regarding?
I would like to make one more comment. I think maybe, again, for clarification, because this came under buildings and grounds, a technology department does not need more than just an office, unless you're bringing in back servers and so on like that. That would be basically, you are setting up to house multiple, computer banks and stuff like that. I don't think that's where we're going. So
Oh, I hope not. No,
essentially,
I
we
don't
need
think that's our.
yeah, so I just, technology department, what you need is someone to be familiar with technology, understand what library consortiums are, understand the different online platforms, how patrons can connect on. I know I had to call the library today because I was using some of our databases and, you know, and I had a glitch. So I worked it through, but there should be someone that patrons can contact and walk them through that. So again, that doesn't need more space. It just needs an office desk and someone to actually do that job.
IT department. Well, technology and IT, but you see, the thing is though, is more than just space. We were just talking about the space. Right, that's why it's
Oh,
on the
okay.
building. and
That's
grounds.
why I'm trying to clarify. It's not a matter of space. It's a matter of understanding or like defining that what you want to achieve. And there seems to be like a different, like, it's not clear in the terms of how, you know, you walk into something, maybe you want to see technology we don't see, because look what we're doing right now from our own
Oh,
home.
well, the thing is though, maybe my vision is totally different from everybody else's.
Well, that's why I just want to make sure we're on the same
look at-
page.
I look at a room where not only do we have someone who could do all the different.
For the end of third period.
1 second.
I'm sorry, you have 4 minutes to get to your 4, 5, 6 period. This is when we normally have our lunches.
So I won't see anybody now.
Yeah, so what I'm
Thank
saying
you for your
is that
input.
I look at a room, not only do we communicate with the public, but sometimes we may have computers that need to be repaired. And it's technology and IT in combination, because we are reaching out to the general public. And we may have computers that need to be repaired. We may have, now we're going out and we're giving computers out to the public. So I am, as I said, as a forward thinker, I would imagine that, you know, we are moving more and more to a technology-based community. So I foresee in the future that we may have a need for more space.
And I think it's a really good idea for us to start with, where are we? For instance, we do get a lot of our databases from the state library, but they stopped offering the language tutoring that they offered. And so it was Rosetta Stone. And so now we are offering ourselves Mango, which is a different database. But we don't have a designated individual who, and it would be a librarian who would be the key contact for that kind of thing. That's one aspect. In terms of a consortium, what might a consortium offer versus why would we want to continue to be a standalone? Just those basic questions. And even with Dell, because we're a Dell shop, you know, we've got the Dell computers, well, except for those Chromebooks that we got through the grant. But in terms of a Dell shop, in talking with our contact, it's unclear exactly. We don't have any question about our inventory of computers. That's not the issue, but we have some things that we have to untangle in terms of when we order through state contract, which we have, you know, what's what and which number do we use. So there are a lot of aspects to this. And I think the best thing I can do to start to help us to untangle and then move forward is to get these facts together, you know, go through the whole complicated thing and provide basic information so that we can move forward. I can with the board on what we want to do moving forward with technology, because it is a big, it's not just one aspect. And so Maria, Ms. Kolish, I appreciate your bringing it up. Yeah.
Okay.
No worries. Thank you. Hi, how are you? 1 second, I have.
Yeah, you got your people.
Yes. So any other questions on technology or building and grounds? We now, our next personnel, we're gonna go to the personnel committee. Oh, that's a good idea. Miss Maria.
Are you not going to discuss the landscaping for Christmas?
Christmas, yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
What is your
And that's
plan?
a fun topic.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
For Christmas, Hanukkah, for all the winter holidays. What's the Eid? Oh, the Swedish holiday where the girls wear the candles on their head. Of course, we're not going to use real candles, but what have
So
you done?
Doing for the holiday.
What do you want to do for move it for the winter holidays?
Yeah, what would you like? Don't you guys
Do
know?
you have any plans for it? Like,
I thought you already, I mean, what have you done in the future? Is that good? Will we move forward?
the
with the
past,
same thing?
I'm not sure what the library did in the past.
You want me to check with the maintenance guys? Ask them?
And then when do you put it
Do
out?
the declaration. Huh? Sorry?
Yeah. And are you guys, just curiosity are you guys keeping some sort of Christmas party or anything like that?
I think one of the issues might be, Dr. Berghammer, is, are we talking about Christmas or are we talking about all the holidays?
No, just right now, I just mentioned Christmas. What was their, when are they gonna, if they're putting up a tree, what type of landscaping?
And
they're putting, and-
Yeah, and if I may, I would propose that rather than just not mention any winter holiday, we should celebrate all of the winter holidays. So Hanukkah, Christmas, that is my recommendation,
Okay.
that we include as many winter holidays that we know about. And that's my recommendation. I don't know what you've done in the past, but I
Well,
think
it's,
that would
it's a good idea, but when would you plan to start? Like, when would you, I know we in October now, but when do you have a date where you're gonna start putting up your decorations and telling your stories?
I should have my calendar with me. I don't, when is Hanukkah this year? Anybody?
I think it's sometime in mid-December. I'm not sure. And if I look on my calendar, I'm gonna lose our Zoom call.
Don't worry. Last year, I remember it was extra early in terms of the standard.
Oh, it was way
Hanukkah.
too early.
It was extra early, but when would we start? We would start so that we can get lights up, because lights can be for anything, and then I'll ask the guys what we have, because we may have some Hanukkah stuff and Christmas stuff, and as I say, we'll move forward knowing what we have on what we're going to do. And I would say, when would we start? I would prefer to wait at least until we have Halloween, if not Thanksgiving. But, we also want to be sure that I'll get the dates for Hanukkah. I know the
Hanukkah's not in Thanksgiving this year, thankfully.
Okay.
Thankfully, it's not in Thanksgiving.
It was real
We
early
could
last
almost
year.
do it's a small world type of concept, but
Yeah, I mean, I think we should, we're a multicultural community, and to celebrate that for the winter holidays, that's what I recommend, So let me find out, Dr. B, what we've got. And then if we would like to request purchasing things that we don't have that would fit with the appropriateness of celebrating winter holidays, I'll just make a request. But I bet you we got a good amount of stuff in storage. I don't know. I just don't know, but I will find out.
Lastly, are you planning to keep some sort of winter gift giving or something for the kids? I do not know if you ever, do you guys do that, the winter gift giving?
Well, that sounds lovely. I was
They didn't do
I've
us.
been focusing on Halloween, because I know a lot of, I was asking the staff if the kids come through, you know, in their costumes and we give them candy. And that would be something really fun to do. And what were you envisioning, Dr. B, for kind of a winter holiday gift giving? We could do a giving tree, giving bush, but I know like where I live in Morristown, a lot of the churches do that. All the faith traditions do some sort of giving to others during this season. So was that what you were thinking of, like a giving tree?
Well, I don't know. I do not know what the library staff, if they have any ideas of something for the season. I see Jeff shaking his head, but see Elizabeth shaking her head. So
Well,
I
you know what? We
Yeah.
are going to have a staff Christmas holiday, winter holiday party. And it's going to be a potluck. It'll be when the library's closed. And we've got it scheduled for December 15th. Betty, Jeff, that's the date, I think.
Yeah, 15th, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you were asking about that, but it's a potluck, you know, and then we each throw in $5, I guess, for sodas and stuff.
No, the
Does-
reason why I asked that question is because I know we have a beautiful kids library. And because we have such a beautiful kids library for the winter, it's, you know, for kids, I just wanted to know what you guys plan to do in your kids library to celebrate. And you see, I'm not using any one holiday. to
I'll ask
celebrate.
Ginger. I'll ask Ginger.
For the kids.
Yeah,
we're talking about.
Okay.
yes. You know, anyway.
I have a question about this. Number one question all librarians ever want to know is, where's the funding coming from? Where is the
Well,
funding for these
we-
events coming from? Petty
I don't know
cash?
where the,
Yeah.
well, for our, you mean our staff party?
No, no,
Is
no,
it
no, 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 not the
Oh,
staff
no,
party.
the
No, no,
kids.
no. The kids stuff that you want to promote for the holidays and giving away. Who's funding? Where's the fund line for that? Where's the
That's-
funding coming from that?
We're gonna have to check.
Yeah, so before there's anything, I think the budget has to be reviewed before, and like, you know, before anyone
Well,
gets
that would be
hyped up.
part of the existing budget. And you
Maria?
guys-
Right, right.
Maria.
Excuse me, Maria, there is
Yes.
a line item for promotions.
Right, I understand that, but is it then,
And the children's, that's what comes out of the children's, anything the children do.
right,
They have a summer reading program. They give them
Right.
cookies and juice boxes.
Yep.
And they have Christmas, I think they give them little, not Christmas, a winter holiday, they give them little toys. So that's under that line item.
I'm just highlighting it so that it's not overlooked, that budgeting is always the number one, like, you know, let's see what money we
Absolutely.
have.
It is
I just
budgeted.
I just wanted to say that we're talking about our existing budget, our 2022 budget.
Right,
And the first thing to do is talk to the children's librarian and find out what her plans are. And if I need to flesh out with her a bit, because I know that I have gone over various programming, both events and funding with Ginger. To date, I have done that. And so specifically, we'll look at what we got for winter. And if there's something that needs to be requested, then I would do it. But otherwise, as Lorraine says, we have a line item for that for 2022. Yeah, and we always look to that. That's the bottom line.
In fact, Maria.
yeah, I just, like I said, I just want to actually put it, you know, out here that all that sounds great, but there's going to be at some point, we have to look at the money for that. And I know there is a line item for it. I just want to make sure that that is made aware. I just want to highlight it.
Maria, what is the line item dollar amount?
I don't know, but I know that the treasurer
If
must
you-
know what that
If
is.
you look through the financials. All right.
Yeah, I don't have
that
them
you
in front
got.
of me.
Oh, okay, never
But
mind.
yeah, I'm sure that the treasurer probably knows what that is.
Well, and we should know as well. And
Dorothy, do you have that line item?
No, it's not showing here.
Yes,
I don't know which one you're talking about.
tell us, Lorraine, what is it?
I don't have my papers with me. I'm sorry. gift programs, promotions.
It-
All right.
I
I'll-
just-
Maria,
know-
I will get it to you, Maria.
Well, because.
No,
we
I'm
are-
not, I just, like I said, I just want to highlight it because it's easy to say, right? But I know that everything, that any programming has to be supported with funding. So I know that you have a budget. I'm not questioning what it is. I'm just highlighting it, that it needs to be partnered, right? Programming with budgeting. So that's all I'm saying.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's worth reinforcing, and I'm glad that you did, and I thank you for that.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
In fact, we should be, all of us should be aware of where all our funds is being used and spent on. So not just for Christmas, we all as board members, that's one of our fiscal responsibilities. So we should know where every penny is going. All right, so is there anything else on building and grounds? Any other discussion? So we're gonna move to the next topic, personnel committee. I do not know if we could really discuss the maintenance person if he was right.
No.
Yes. So we're gonna, Miss Mary,
Yes.
Miss Romance,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
there any way that you could change the voicemail for the answering machine?
Sure. Are you talking about our main message?
Yes.
All right. Did you have an idea of how you wanted it changed?
Well, Miss Elizabeth, could you help her put the verbiage together for the,
I mean, unless you want a different message, I mean, it says,
well,
welcome to Linden Library, I think, I don't know.
our message just specifically says, time of opening, time of closing. I think that we could possibly, talk about our kids' library and stuff like some of the, do you think it'll be too long to put some of the services?
Yes, I do think it would be too long.
Okay, but then you do
I
your
mean, I've
thing.
listened to the message
Yeah,
and already it's kind of long.
yes.
And I think the idea of a voicemail message is you want to tell people what they should
sorry, what?
press to get to where they want to go.
Right,
And
what,
that's it.
what personnel?
Yes.
Yeah, but what's the voicemail have to do with personnel? I mean, why are we talking about the library voicemail? That's something the director should be worried about. Why are we worried about with the voicemail?
Yeah, and it's true that it's something, if somebody has an opinion, you can always just tell me. But meanwhile, I've listened to the voicemail message and I, for one, would not want it to be any longer than it is already, and it would be.
It's we don't run the day-to-day, the director runs the day-to-day. We just set policy and the fiscal policy. We don't set their day-to-day, it's the director's job.
Miss Mary, could
Yes.
you please change the voicemail, please?
To what though?
Well, just a new voice should be on the voicemail.
You mean
And
the
this-
Okay, I'll make it my voice.
All right,
All right,
all right, okay then.
okay.
All right,
Yep.
the next, anybody have any other things to discuss before we move to the next line item here? The next the library director. I thought we had mentioned that we had a committee for the library board directors. Is that mentioned in this one? Yes, we had several, yes, we have several on personnel. We have to appoint a committee to hire a library director. And the committee that was selected was myself, the board president, the vice president, and the mayor, Derek Armstead. If he cannot do it, Danny Amakaitis would be for the committee that was appointed for us to start looking for a director.
So essentially, you've appointed a subcommittee
A subcommittee,
within
that's correct.
personnel for that
Yes.
specific purpose. Oh,
Yes, okay,
yeah, okay.
okay. So the next item on the agenda is policies. I don't think we have any policies right now.
Well, can you tell me, because of course, some of these things had started before I came in. So forgive me because you've been through the process, but we want to get those Chromebooks out.
Yes.
And my understanding is the library board had been very clear they wanted to write the policy. Now, I've been working with the librarians because there are certain requirements for how we receive the Chromebooks through a grant that we need to be able to provide them to the public. So I know we've been waiting for you to provide us with a policy, but if I may, why don't I provide you with the information our librarians have put together so that that might help further get the policy going so we can get them out, those Chromebooks.
We had submitted a policy, and you guys said the policy we had submitted did not line up with the verbiage in the grant. So you guys were supposed to send us. the
Okay, well,
policy that
I've
you
got it,
guys-
I've got it ready. I've got it ready to send. I didn't realize that was where we were. I was
Yes.
just saying with the librarians, let's get together the information that is required per the grant, so we're prepared. So I'll get that to you this week.
And should you have any other policy that we need to revise for any other services that we need, that need to go out there, could you please?
The only other thing that I know of that's outstanding is, I know I had mentioned that it looked like there was a disaster policy pending, but I think I found something from the New Jersey State Library that might be what had been put forth. I can provide that so that you'll have it. I'll provide you with the Chromebook, what our librarians have already put together for my request, so that that policy, we want to provide the board with the information you need to make it easy for you to make decisions. So I'll give you the Chromebook information. And the only outstanding thing that I know about is this disaster policy, which I don't know where it came from or where it stands, but I do know that there are model policies out there. If you want one, I'll give it.
Okay, fine.
Okay. All right.
Any questions again on policy? Okay, so then we're gonna move to the next line item, which is technology. I guess we mentioned about technology earlier, so I don't think we have to go to technology. So Ms. Romance,
Yes, ma'am.
firstly, from the president of the board, I want to thank you very, very much for your commitment to our library.
It's
I
a
am
pleasure.
pleased. I am very, very pleased with the work you're doing. I am totally pleased with the work the library staff is doing, and I'm sure that my colleagues and my other colleagues on the board may feel the same way, but I want to personally thank you. Thank you again for your contribution to the
Thank
Linden
you for
Free
your support, and it's nice meeting some of you and having a board meeting. And if I may, I'm looking at I'm not looking at my agenda, but I'm wondering, I know that there was something under finance that probably should be mentioned. And Lorraine, I know that you have prepared a statement that you wanted to read at the meeting so that the trustees would have that statement from you.
Yes, I did. The one statement that I wanted to make was, it's very difficult to get the payroll deductions out on time. I know that I had, but not myself, but the acting director and also the librarian in charge had emailed like 5 times one day
Hello, it's really nice
They-
to see you guys and gals. My name is Manu. What is your name?
Are you a member of the public, sir?
No, that is in the school. I think she got it by accident.
Oh,
I muted her.
Okay.
okay.
Because I know we do have a couple members of the public that will need to.
Yeah, that's not from school.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
got it.
not school. Oh, okay, all right. Continue, yes.
Yes, so I had asked the librarian in charge to email and to get you to sign checks. And 5 times in one day, no response, no nothing. These checks are highly, they need to go out on time.
Yeah.
They need to go out on time, and it makes me nervous and upset when I can't get in touch with anybody and the checks are not signed. 4 people should be on the checking accounts. 2 out of 4 should be able to sign. So we may have to decide to get 2 more signers on the checking account. So if I can't get one, I can get someone else to sign.
If I may say something right now, there is no way in the face of the earth we're doing that right now. For the board, let the board members know, in the last month alone, we had 92 checks written.
Oh, I know.
So we are not right now. We have had a serious breach in our checking system.
Yes, there is. The account has been closed.
So
The account has been closed. This has never happened before. It
I
seems as though,
understand.
it seems as though reports go out of my office, and I have told you time and time again, I am uncomfortable with reports going out of my office. Not that that was them. It's just that I know how devious people are. The breach in the checking account was 93 checks, 93 that had passed at Northfield Bank with one rubber stamp signature, one, and made to anonymous people. 46 for one amount, and I think 47 for another amount. What bank could possibly pass all those checks?
Lorraine,
Yes.
this is Mary. I am not sure that all the trustees have the basic information regarding what had happened.
Well, Dr.
fraud.
Berkheimer brought it up, so
And I know, and yes.
I assumed that everybody knew.
Released. I don't understand this.
Actually, the board doesn't know, and I apologize about what, 2 weeks ago, we got an email that said that there was a breach. Over 92 checks were written.
That is correct.
And that, I mean,
The board not been kept secret.
yes.
This is a breach of conduct. I'm sorry.
Listen, about 92 checks were written, and
It's releasing.
I heard you. 92 checks were written, and now we are speaking about it. I apologize that it didn't get to the board members before, but now that Lorraine brought up.
No, Dr. Berkheimer, you brought that up. You brought that up.
No, I brought it up because
Yes,
I brought it up because I wanted to introduce it. I completely forgot about it, so I brought it up. It was nothing that I was putting in hiding. I brought it up. All right? So now I am saying, because we have had a breach in the amount of checks that were written, I had a meeting with the president, myself, the vice president, and the mayor, and we came to agreement that the checks would be stored in a locked
They are.
We have them in a lock. We have them in a locked file cabinet.
Yes, and this was done 2 weeks ago. We did not have a meeting as yet. So
And
it was
Dr.
my intention to bring it up in this meeting, which I did.
These checks were not the checks that I have in my office. They were photocopied because the check says Linden Free Public. They photocopied these checks.
They were fake checks, yeah.
But not only that, the board never removed when we come to the library. We never removed any check from the library. We got
No,
invoices.
You are correct. No, you do
So
not.
we never received, so
You are correct.
so we never removed any check.
It's just very uncomfortable for me for anything to go out of the office.
Yeah, but then you're asking right now when we have a breach and we don't know where the breach is coming from. To add
The mail.
signatures to the account.
I spoke to a detective, I don't have his name right here, right now. And he said that it was a federal case, that it's from the post office, surprisingly, that there must be someone there that is receiving all these checks, taking a peek and possibly opening, whatever. I don't know how it's done. I'm not that smart. But detective, darn it.
The detective.
Yeah, the detective, he took care of everything and he said, right now it is in the hands of the federal.
Madam President, I think we have to give a full picture of what actually transpired.
Well,
I don't think it's
What-
clear to everybody.
All right,
Okay.
I'll
About
start.
2 weeks, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Lorraine I have had the opportunity to listen to the statement of facts, very clear, very concise, that Lorraine as our bookkeeper had written. And now might be a good time for you to read that, Lorraine.
Well, I had discovered upon receiving my bank statement that there were many checks written to the same person for the same amount. And I went to the bank that day and I told them what had happened. And they said, we are closing the account. We will honor all the checks that you have written so far. And I gave them a list of all the checks that I had written. Then Officer Paulina Piera came to my office early in the morning and she spoke to me. She took all the information down and it was then forwarded to, darn it. Let me get his name. Juan Velarde. Detective Juan Velarde took over from there. He called me up quite quickly. By the way, he was a very good gentleman. And he called me up. I gave him all the information and he said, I'll take care of it. He probably contacted the post office because I think that this had happened before. When I had spoken.
Excuse me, Lorraine, can you just clarify exactly how many checks for how much money total, so everyone will know?
Okay, I don't have the amount, unfortunately.
I think it was about 4,000, wasn't it?
It was, yes, it was 47 checks. Let me see, 47 at 46.98, and then 46 checks at 48.98, made out to the same person with the same rubber stamp.
Were they the same date?
Yes.
It is amazing that the bank would cash those. but-
Amen. I said the same thing.
It is. It's
I didn't want to
amazing
make,
that they were all deposited at the same bank. They were all passed through Northfield to Bank of America, I believe, right? Yeah.
and the back of the
So,
check, the back of the checks were identically the same.
But I think it's important that all the board members understand what happened and why we are being, even though they weren't actual checks.
No, they were not.
Director said, we're trying to be overly careful,
Yes, we are.
really diligent.
Yes,
Because
we are.
it was a really upsetting occurrence.
It
But the
was.
board needs to know everything, obviously.
and I just want to say that if it weren't for our bookkeeper's diligence when the statement comes through to check it, which is exactly how this whole thing came to light, then we would have been sitting back waiting for possibly somebody else to find out. So
Right.
Lorraine diligently, as part of her responsibilities as bookkeeper, when the statement came through, she looked at the statement And it's incredible because the criminal not only is a criminal, a federal case, a fraud case, but the criminal was kind of stupid because the fake checks weren't even, correctly named, and they were two amounts all passed through. I think it is an example of how there was a breach in the electronic processing. It never should have happened.
It is
because
unbelievable that the bank didn't flag it themselves.
Absolutely, I agree with you
That's
100%.
beautiful, but it's
Lorraine
absolutely
flagged it.
incredible to me that they didn't flag it.
Mhm. I was in banking for 10 years, so I know.
And it
Unbelievable.
was Lorraine's
Thank you, Lorraine.
diligence that brought it to light, yes. And so right now it's in the hands of the federal fraud department because it's a federal case. And we expect sooner or later, and we'll keep an eye on this, to be reimbursed for this because there is no doubt that it was fraud.
The thing is, so the same thing happened. I do not know if I could disclose it in our meeting, but it also happened in our last meeting in the Board of Ed. It was over $6 million, I think several $1 million.
What
In
a
the board,
shame.
in Linden Board of Ed. So the thing is that for some reason it's happening out there. All right, and I do not know how this is happening, but and it happened last month too. Whereas in our library, over 93 checks, and in our Board of Ed, we were lucky, we were only up to 5,000. The Board of Ed was in, so, the thing is that it's happening. And when it happened, I plan to mention it later on, in my, in closing, what was going on, but now it came out now, but I think even the board, we did the right protocol. We called the mayor, we called the attorney, the board attorney. We discussed, we were very transparent with our concerns, and we were assured by the library director as well as Miss Lorraine what was going on. And I was going to summarize it later on tonight, but now we have it here. But this was done about 2 weeks ago.
Lorraine, was there anything else? Because I know that you wanted the opportunity to speak of
No,
this.
just that I need, when I have the payroll deductions ready to be signed, I'd like to be able to have some feedback as to when you're coming so that I'm not sweating bullets waiting for someone to come in so that I can get these in the mail because they are very time sensitive.
They
That's all.
are. No, but the second part of that is that we need 2 additional signatories, correct?
Dr. Berghammer just said, no way.
Not right now.
Okay,
Not right now.
okay, I wanted to get clarification and I have it, thank you.
Okay, I think we are, if anybody else have no questions right now, we will go to the director's report.
Okay, well, let me say that all of these things have resulted in additional diligence, not only with the internal purchases that the library makes. They are all now approved by me before they go through the process of being ordered. And then with the financials, all of the checks that are written, and I see them as they're written so that there is no question, not that there ever was, but in abundance of caution to ensure that the library is ultra diligent with all of this. So there's that. With buildings and grounds, little things, but little things sometimes mean a lot. Maybe you've seen the mums that have been planted. And so I think the grounds are starting to look better. We're still pushing to get the sprinkler guy to come and get it fixed before we shut it down, because right now we've got sprinkler ends that are watering the asphalt and nobody wants that. But speaking of asphalt, you've probably seen the nice lines that were painted, and I'm grateful to the city of Linden because we contacted them about painting the lines for the handicap spots, and they went ahead and just painted all of the parking space lines, which was fantastic, and we're really grateful for that. You may or may not know that our Friends of the Library book sale closed out with the bag day, which means $4 for a bag of books. But I'll tell you, there were a huge, I mean, our whole hallway was filled with books. And we decided to put a sign saying, these are for the Friends of the Library books sale. I was escorting one of the gentlemen downstairs at one of our programs. He was having so much fun. They weren't leaving, but as we were walking, he saw all those books and he started going through them. And I said, no, these are for the book sale. Come back, my friend, and it will be fun. So we've had some really great programs, and I've had a lot of compliments from the public saying they're really happy with the expanded programming that was made possible in part by the Department of Health grant that was written in large part by our Teresa Villani and a friend of hers, and it's been terrific. And it's closed out now, end of September, that Department of Health grant. We've been working to simplify and streamline things like reviewing the payroll, and our senior librarian, Betty. Betty, how do you pronounce your last name? Spark? Do I have that right? We both were saying we need them in alphabetical order. We need to have the time cards, the reports. And so we've been streamlining that, which makes it a little less arduous to go through item by item, the payroll punches, the time cards for everyone, so that when I sign off on it and Betty releases it, we have looked through each and every line. So as one of our library assistants had said, there are some things that have over time have kind of devolved and needed to be tightened up in terms of job comes first, the work that people do at the desk. We've got some really hardworking, self-motivated staff members and others who need to be reminded that when we're at work, all of us, we're here to work. So along with all these other exciting things like the fraud, the checks, and you all know about the big oak tree that fell down on library grounds. So I've been working with the insurance company on that. It smashed the library van. And we want to thank again the city of Linden for giving us old police car as a loaner in time. There have been some exciting things that have happened. Not all good, but all that need to be dealt with. So that's the end of my report, unless you have any questions or comments.
We're still standing, right?
Well, right now I'm sitting down, but yeah, I'm still standing, and we're moving forward. We're making progress bit by bit.
So the damage done by the oak tree, do we have a cost? How much it costs?
Well, I'll tell you, as you might imagine, it was not as simple as just simply providing pictures and noting, because our insurance company, with a downed tree, the way that the insurance works is it's considered, there's some newfangled term for it, but it's considered an act of God. And so since it's considered an act of God, then the damage done to our neighbors, which thank God was not too horrible. somebody's shed had further damage, our neighbor, some fencing, some damage, but that's on them. In terms of our library van, I had to provide information about our van, our insurance, our registration, because that's not covered under our regular insurance either. So there are 3 separate categories. And in terms of the costs, I've provided pictures, I've provided the facts, and then I keep expecting someone from the insurance company to come and do a walkthrough, but they haven't so far. But again, I'm grateful to the staff, and I'm also grateful that this big tree fell on a Sunday. So no one was hurt, and that's the most important thing in my mind. So when we get that cost, Dr. B, I'll let you know. But it's been a bit of a slog, you know, to go through it, but that's what needs to be done. So that's what we're doing. Oh, I wanted to mention one thing about the books, though. One of our librarians has taken advantage of this program Baker and Taylor, one of the book distributors, has. So they'll pay us for us to give them our old books. It's not a lot of money, but it's better than nothing. And also they'll take anything. And you probably already know, if you want to recycle hardback books, it means ripping those hardback covers off. And I can tell you from personal experience, it's not as easy as you would think. So that means all of the few books that were not sold at the book sale for the Friends, we'll make some money on that will go directly into our Baker and Taylor account. So they're little things, but it both is a little bit of money, but it's also a really good way to successfully deal with these things, these books that have been decommissioned or weeded out. So I'm really pleased about that good program. So any other questions or comments?
Okay, now we're gonna go to comments from the public.
How did the tree fall down?
But let me just make my declaration. Members of the public desiring to make a public comment may do so at this time. Please begin your comments by stating your name and address. Individuals are invited to speak on one topic at a time. No individual will speak more than once until all individuals so desiring have spoken once. The public is reminded to ensure the efficiency and orderly operation of the meeting. Members of the public will be limited to speak for 3 minutes.
Hi, my name is Manu Chopra, and I'm from Alexandria, Virginia. And my public comment is, how did the tree fall down by the car? What happened to the tree that fell down?
There was no, what shall we say, precipitating incident in terms of a lightning strike or a great storm. Nobody saw it happen. And so I think that the tree just was old, and it was, as the insurance company says, just considered an act of God. So the insurance company has not provided their final report, but right now there was nothing that happened that Sunday that any of us knows about that might have caused the tree to fall. Does that answer your question?
That answered my question.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any more questions?
Can I help volunteer at the library?
Sure, but you're from Alexandria, Virginia?
I live in Alexandria, Virginia with me and my dad.
So we're in New Jersey.
New Jersey is a nice area.
Yeah, a long way to volunteer though.
It's nice to volunteer where I am in.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's a nice library system there. That's where I grew up. But if you're ever in the area and are interested in volunteering, you can apply to be a volunteer, and we'll see what we might be able to find for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other member of the public?
Yes.
Okay.
Top dollar for your trade. So contact your dealer and reserve your new truck, car, or
I'm hearing someone's television for what it's worth. I don't know.
Is the same, I think it's you, will you put him on mute? Yes.
Who is the other member of the public?
Would you please state your name?
Monica Smith,
your address?
169 Carson Court, Somerset, New Jersey, 08873-4792.
Oh, thanks. And I'm sorry, I
With
missed the
respect to
first.
the job advertisement for library director posted on May 10th, 2022 on Library Link NJ. The ad is a sloppy, unfocused mess. A typographical
Excuse
error
me,
in the
excuse
second
me,
sentence.
Excuse me, please, excuse me. If you come to our board, please stop criticizing what we are doing in the board. If you want to
This
say
is my
something,
public
well,
comment.
listen, and I would not allow you. I would not
It is
allow you.
not within your purview
Listen,
to
I would
allow
not
or disallow me.
listen.
I have my 3 minutes for comment and I want them.
Listen,
No.
please. You come here month after month, and you come from wherever you come from. I agree.
Did you not listen to
Yes.
my address?
I
That
did,
was pretty clear.
But listen, bottom line, please, I'm asking you, please respect our board. If you come here, make suggestions, all right? But do not come to our board and disrespect our city and our board, please.
A typographical error in the second sentence lists the library's annual budget as $2,200. This is embarrassing. On September 12th, I confirmed with Bob Keith at the State Library that there is no such entity as the Library Board of Governors in New Jersey, and certainly not at the municipal level. Clearly, this ad is cut and pasted from other ads across the country, poorly constructed by an author whose writing skills are consistent with someone who has no idea how to craft a proper job advertisement. I seriously doubt you've received the 30 applications as predicted by the mayor. With respect to the last board meeting held on May 2nd, 2022, after the meeting was officially adjourned, the public was asked to leave the room and did. However, a clear quorum of library board members remained in the meeting room and continued to discuss library business. I know this because the walls are thin and no one there could be described as speaking sotto voce. This is a clear violation of the Open Public Meeting Act, and I notified the board's attorney, Jill Lazar, of this incident on the following day, May 3rd. On Monday, the 12th of September, the regular board meeting was not held because there was not a quorum. However, the board president specifically stated to a patron who came to that meeting after the meeting was not held at 7:04 p.m. People come to the meetings because they have questions and we can answer those questions. Yet, it was very odd that on May 2nd, at the meeting, I was forbidden from asking any questions. Finally, let this meeting's minutes reflect that at this time, 8:53 p.m. on October 3rd, I'm submitting an Oprah request to the board.
And I think it's 7:53, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
All right, so anybody else from the public have any, thank you for your comments. Anybody else have some? Yeah, all right.
I'm Betty Score.
Yeah.
I just want to comment on the expense for Bellaginas. Bellagina,
Oh, yes,
the beginning of the discussion.
Yeah.
it was, mention of a $77 charge for Bellaginas.
Yeah.
That was the day that that book fair was held. What event, it was coordinated with City Hall, and someone in City Hall called a few days before and they asked that the library provide breakfast. It was some food, it was Danish coffee that was upstairs here, and it was for the exhibitors. And when we asked how this was going to be paid for, they said, send the bill just get the bill and send it to the mayor. So I guess we paid for it and or probably will get it reimbursed or maybe not, but that's what the $77 is. It was an event that was sponsored through the city and it was held here. It was the book
Independent
expo.
Book Expo.
Yeah, that,
Yeah,
right.
but it's,
Yeah, the book expo. And Betty, thank you so much because I had thought that might be what it was.
Yeah.
And I know because you were there that
I worked
Saturday
on Saturday, yeah.
and set up. Yeah, and there's documentation where I had said, we're not in a position to pay for coffee in Danish for the authors. I mean, we're happy to host it. And it was a lot of work for a lot of the staff, if I do say so. And if the city was interested in providing that, we'd be glad to help. And they said, fine, send us the bill. So that's where we stand with that. And I will follow up and see where the send us the bill
means.
where
Yeah,
where
because
yeah, what
If the
status.
city tells you to send us the bill, I don't see why we should be having to be getting the bill.
Well, what it was is we said for our part, let us go ahead and place the order. And we had it all set up and among,
I
it
believe
was a
that the
big
person
whole
that
thing.
did the bill that day.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, so,
we
so
should be reimbursed.
yeah, so we have a valid, request for information,
Yes.
right?
That's
Okay. Anybody else have comments?
No, not tonight, thank you.
Yes. Council President Yamakaitis?
Yes.
Okay, how many vacancies do you currently have on this board?
4,
4?
yes.
Okay, 4 vacancies.
Yes.
Okay. Can we also have a list of the committees, who is on these committees?
Yes, I
I'm
can-
concerned about the finance committee with payroll deductions not being made on time. That's a major thing. This can't be happening.
I totally agree, but as I said, we have 4 members right now. And again, I know that we have been behind, but considering what we're working with, I think we're doing an excellent job. That, we have never been closed for a day. We keep the library open, we functioning. And once we are up to full staff, I'm sure stuff will get better. But based on what we are working with, I think we're doing exceptionally well.
Okay.
Because
Um,
everyone here is volunteer, everybody have jobs, but we are doing our best with what we have to work with.
Okay. I think, in interviewing a new director, a director needs to be able to run the day-to-day operations, not this board. It's important, Ms. Romance, I know you're doing the best you can. I'm glad to hear that you're looking to add a lot of diversity to the upcoming holiday season. I mean, Linden is a melting pot, but again, I think, if you could present something to the board, just report on what's the library has planned. The library's been running for many years with no problems. Okay, so I think we need to let our staff, they're paid well, let them run this library. That's all I have to say this evening.
Anybody else have anything to say? Okay. As the board president, I want to express my gratitude for all the hard work that our staff and the library has been doing for the last year. In the past 9 months, Linden Free Public Library have experienced a lot of challenges, but we have thrived. We were able to hire a new interim director within a month. Our library never closed, and we continue to open full time. At the moment, the board is short-staffed, but through it all, we continue to conduct business. I have discussed with our elected official that we need to hire new board personnel. I want to thank the people of Linden for their continued support during these trying times. But because the pandemic is no longer a threat to the health and wellness of our community, we would like to keep our meetings in person. But based on what happened today, I think that under special circumstances, we may open up virtual, but we would really like to keep our meetings in person if we can. Lastly, as I said, we have appointed a subcommittee to interview assistant directors, to director and if possible an assistant director. We have received several resumes, and we hope to meet with some of these people so that we could possibly get a library director. Anyone have anything to say? Yes.
Library is a nice place.
I want to make, I would like us to make a motion to close the meeting.
I make a motion to close the
Do
meeting.
you have anything to say? Anybody gonna second it?
Any second? Please go.
Yes? No, oh, so you have something, yeah.
I just said, I know in the packet, I saw that there was a proposed schedule of holidays for
Oh,
2023.
yes, I will have it because it wasn't printed out for us.
Wasn't printed out?
In the future, when you,
Okay, I'm sorry.
in the future, when we come to the meetings, I would really like the packet to be placed on the desk for our
Thing
board
is, the
members.
packet was mailed to everybody.
Yeah, but I would like it printed out because
Okay.
sometimes we come on the road. I have my packet sitting on my at home and I didn't have a
Okay,
chance
we'll
to get
do
home.
that. But
Yes.
yes, there are two items for board action.
Yes.
And one is the proposed holiday schedule for 2023. And the other is the proposed board meeting dates for
Want me to go print
2023.
it for you right now?
Neither of these things were on the agenda, so this would have to be. Wouldn't this be next meeting?
Well, it's true that ideally, the board should have had additional time, to consider the proposed dates and then to vote on them. I think the reason why I'm glad that Betty mentioned that is for both the holiday schedule as well as the board meetings. There's a requirement to get those holidays in within a particular time frame. And Betty, do you know offhand what that is?
Say that again?
I know you had said that the holiday schedule based on the contract
Right.
needed to be approved within a certain period.
Well, the thing is, there's no time period listed in the contract as to a deadline, but the thing is, in planning and, we make up programs, we make up schedules. It's always been the principle, we've always followed the principle that the list of holidays was looked at like in the October meeting, and then they discuss it and they vote on it in November. So that when January comes along, everything is ready to go.
So both of these resolutions that were provided in the packet, I propose, Madam President, that they be actionable items listed on the agenda for the November meeting.
would you send them out to everyone so that we could all have them now? So maybe,
Sure, they are part of the packet, but I will send them out separately. I will do that.
okay, yeah. So,
Let me-
Eddie, anything else?
No, but I just want to comment on the Christmas thing.
Yeah.
Jeff always plays Santa. I don't know if he will this year, but in the past, he's been Santa in the children's room.
No, we did it up here, often too, up here. in
Well,
this-
okay, in here, and
Yes.
there's, there's sometimes there's a storybook read, there's, maybe singing or something, and we give out a little gift. It could be a book, it could be a stuffed toy, it could be candy. Sometimes the friends paid for it, but many times it came out of the promotional budget too. So I mean, we do something for the kids for the holidays.
And this year, Jeff Wayne, Linden Library, this year we do plan on having a meet Santa in person. We've done it in the past. Obviously, the last 2 years we couldn't because of the pandemic, but we're planning in that, I forget what date it's in December, but it's 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas. We've had to meet the Santa Claus thing here. Santa Claus sits here, meets the kids, they come get pictures and whatnot. And
Right, the
it's been a very
kids.
popular program. We've done this I've been here 17 years, and Santa Claus and I are never in the same room at the same time. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well,
How about Hanukkah Harry?
Hanukkah
Okay,
Harry,
That's a Saturday Night Live invention. Yeah, if we get John Lovitz, maybe we'll do it, okay?
you know what we'll do though, is we'll make sure that we have the Hanukkah candles.
We always have them on.
We have,
display
there
as
is a
well as the
display,
tree.
Mary, there is a display we have of the Hanukkah, the menorah. We do that and that's lit up each night.
As well as a tree.
As well as a tree, exactly. And everything is, all the decorations are inside the building. Nothing has ever been done outside.
No, has.
Really?
Nothing's ever done outside. And we've got, we got boxes of decorations
The
here.
tree is usually in the children's room.
Yeah, children's room, we're right near there, yeah. And we bring up a small tree up here for the Christmas. So we got this under control.
You guys are the best, and I just want to thank both Jeff Wayne and Betty for being here. And I think Betty, you came on your own time, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken. Yeah. And Jeff, of course, is our host and our technology guy for tonight. And I just want to thank them and the rest of the staff who just are the heart and soul of the library. And I appreciate the support of the board, and I just want to thank everyone.
Oh, Lorraine, I want to
Thank
thank you. Lorraine?
Yes, she's there.
Yeah, Lorraine, I want to thank you for the
I'm here.
excellent work. I want to thank you for the excellent work you did on how you handled the check fraud problem we had.
It was scary.
Yeah, but
It was scary.
you were on top of your game. The way you did it, the way you handled it, the way you worked it. I felt very safe that you were really on top of everything that was going on. I want to, from the board president, I want to personally thank you.
I thank you very much.
What you did.
President, I need to jump off. Are we
Oh,
good?
we closing now.
Okay.
The next board meeting is scheduled for November the 7th at 6:30 p.m.
Got it.
All right, and yes,
There was no vote on the adjournment.
There was one, the motion was made, but you're
we
right.
didn't- yeah, we
Dan.
did. No,
Because
we're
I-
gonna start over
because
because
I
I stopped it. Yeah,
So Dorothy
the-
made the motion.
Will someone make the motion?
yes, but
Dorothy did.
Dorothy made a motion, so right now I'd like to put a motion on the floor to adjourn the meeting.
Do we have a second?
Motion.
Second,
All
Thank
right,
you,
meeting
Danny.
is adjourned.
Very good. Have a great month, guys. Thank you.
You too. I'll get those things out that I said I would. Yep, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Everyone. Oh, Maria, you have a second?
Yes, I do.
It's okay if I called you because I have a question for the school. Did she hear me?
Wait,
You're
you have my
mute.
number? No, I can hear you now. You have my
Okay.
number, correct?
Because I have a question for the school.
Okay. And what kind of question?
future.
The library for the school,
Okay,
okay?
sure. Call me,
If you're so,
now in a few minutes, or you can just call me. Do you have my number?
no,
I'm gonna stop the video here. You can,
okay.
because I don't want this to be official.
Okay.
meeting.
Yep.
Everybody have a good night.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you. Have a nice night.